Do not ask how it will come. That is not your concern. Your only task is to assume it has already come. Begin today, this very moment, by stepping into the consciousness of a person who already possesses $50,000, 0 cents. Do not beg for it. Do not look for signs. Simply say within yourself, it is done. The outer world is only a mirror reflecting the inner assumptions you carry. If you believe you lack, then lack will continue. But the moment you embody the feeling of abundance, the world will bow to reflect it. Close your eyes and feel the joy of having the money now. Picture yourself looking at your bank account and seeing the balance increase by $50,000, 0 cents. Hear a loved one congratulate you. Feel the weight of financial freedom in your chest. Let the image burn itself into your mind, not with strain, but with certainty. And from that moment forward, live from that state. Walk differently, speak differently, make decisions from the place of already having. It is not about pretending, it is about believing. If you believe it, your subconscious accepts it as real, and what the subconscious accepts, the world must express. Each night before you sleep, dwell in the end. Fall asleep with the knowing that the money is already yours. Let your last thoughts be, thank you, it came to me so easily. Your dreams will carry the seed of that reality and plant it into your waking world. You are not here to chase after money. You are here to realize that money is simply a form of consciousness, and consciousness is under your command. It is not your job to make it happen. It is your job to remain in the state of the wish fulfilled. The moment you know it is done without needing a single physical sign, that is when creation begins to move. And within 21 days, if you remain faithful, if you do not return to the state of doubt, $50,000, 0 cents must come to you, perhaps through unexpected channels, perhaps from sources you could never predict, but it will come. So stop looking around, start looking within. Claim the money, feel it now, rest in that knowing it is already yours, and so it is. Assume the feeling of wealth now. Begin by understanding that the outer world is only a reflection of the inner world. Nothing comes from outside until it is first accepted inside. So if you desire to manifest $50,000, 0 cents in 21 days, you must not hope for it or wish for it. You must become the version of yourself who already has it. This isn't a performance or some surface level pretending. This is a deep and sincere acceptance that what you seek is already yours. What would you feel if $50,000, 0 cents, suddenly appeared in your possession today? Would you feel relief, joy, confidence, safety? Let that be the entry point. Do not ask how the money will come. Do not scan your current life for evidence. Instead, close your eyes and sink into the experience of already receiving it. Let your heart beat a little faster with the thrill of unexpected abundance. Let a smile touch your face as you imagine telling someone, you won't believe what happened. I received the $50,000, 0 cents. Let that feeling spread through your chest as you open your banking app in your imagination and see the new balance. Breathe in that reality and hold it not as fantasy but as truth. Once you assume the feeling of wealth, your thoughts begin to change. You stop wondering if it will happen and start knowing it already has. You stop asking and start thanking. You stop acting from fear and begin moving from assurance. You carry yourself differently, not arrogantly, but with a calm and grounded confidence that says, I have more than enough. Your energy shifts. And that shift is the signal to the universe. You are no longer hoping for money, you are aligning with it. Start living today as if your financial burden has been lifted. Begin to treat every interaction, every moment, every decision from the state of someone who is already taken care of. You won't spend foolishly or carelessly. You'll spend consciously from the energy of trust rather than fear. You'll begin to act from clarity, not desperation. That's what wealth truly is. Not just a number in a bank, but a mental state of security and freedom. Imagine yourself walking through the world as someone who no longer has to check every price tag twice, who gives generously without fear of loss, who plans for joy instead of just survival. When doubts arise, and they will, don't fight them. Simply return to the feeling. Remind yourself, I already have it. It's already mine. You are not asking for money to come. You are walking in the truth that it has arrived. Persist in this feeling. Don't wait for the world to change before you feel wealthy. Let your feeling be the cause, not the effect. Feel it now and the world will respond. That is the great secret. The world is not determining what you feel. You are determining what the world reflects. The moment you genuinely feel wealthy, without needing the money to prove it, is the moment the universe moves to make it visible. Remain faithful to that inner wealth, and $50,000, 0 cents, will be drawn to you with precision, because it must match who you are being. Dwell in the end. This is the great principle that governs all manifestation. To dwell in the end means to place your attention not on the process, not on the obstacles, not on what needs to be fixed or changed, but on the final result, the finished state, the fulfilled desire. In this case, it means seeing yourself as already having received the $50,000, 0 cents. Not someday, not soon, but now. The moment you imagine yourself in possession of the money, your mind may begin to ask, but how? That question is a trap. The how is none of your business. You are not the orchestrator of conditions. You are the creator of the state. The state creates the path. When you try to force the how, you step out of the creative seat and into the role of the doubter. And the doubter receives only confusion. To dwell in the end means to make the result more real than anything your senses tell you. Right now, your outer world may reflect lack, limitation, or even debt. But those are shadows, reflections of former beliefs. The truth is what you choose to accept internally. Choose now to accept that $50,000, 0 cents, is already yours. Let it be real to you. Let it be your reality, whether you can touch it yet or not. What would your life look like if the money had already come? Picture it. What would change about your mood, your actions, your sense of peace? Go there in your imagination and make your home there. Return to it daily. Let it become familiar. Let it feel so natural that anything outside of it feels strange. That's what it means to dwell, to stay mentally loyal to the result, no matter what the physical world says. You are not trying to attract $50,000, 0 cents. You are being the version of yourself who already has it. When you dwell in the end, you let go of needing to constantly check your bank account for signs. You stop wondering if it's working. You simply know it is done. Your inner world carries the imprint of the outcome, and your outer world must follow. Not maybe, not hopefully, it must. Whenever doubts try to enter, when the fear arises, or when the evidence of your senses screams the opposite, you gently bring yourself back. You remind yourself, I have it now. You do not beg. You do not plead. You assume, and then you return to the end, again and again, until it becomes your default state of being. Even as you go about your day, carry the feeling that your desire is complete. Let it color your speech. Let it shape your decisions, not out of pretending, but out of faith. Faith does not look for proof. Faith is the proof. To dwell in the end is to let the final scene run on repeat in your imagination until it impresses itself on your subconscious mind. And once the subconscious accepts it as true, the outer world will rearrange itself to match. Things will shift, people will move, opportunities will arise. But you won't need to manipulate any of it. Stay loyal to the result, live from the end. It is already done. The $50,000, 0 cents is yours. Walk in that knowing and the world will follow. The power is in the inner conversation. What you say to yourself, silently and consistently, is creating the world you walk through. If you truly want to manifest $50,000, 0 cents in 21 days, it is not enough to simply visualize the money or write down affirmations once a day. You must change the way you talk to yourself. Your inner voice must reflect the truth that the money is already yours. This is not just repetition, it is identity. It is inner agreement. You may not realize it, but your inner dialogue is running constantly. It comments on everything, on your worth, your ability, your expectations, and your future. And often it is filled with fear, doubt, lack, and unworthiness. If that inner conversation is rooted in, I don't know how this will happen, or this is too good to be true, or things like this don't happen to me, then that is the vibration you are offering. That is the message you are sending into the unseen, and the unseen always responds to the tone of your thoughts. So start now. Speak within, as the one who has already received the money. What does that version of you say to themselves throughout the day? They are not asking if the money will come. They are saying it feels so good to be free from financial pressure. They are not worrying, they are thinking, I'm grateful this came to me so easily. Their inner voice is calm, confident, certain. Begin to monitor the words you use in silence, not with judgment, but with awareness. When you catch yourself mentally complaining, fearing, or doubting, stop and shift the tone. Replace it with words that reflect the outcome you desire. Don't wait for evidence. Create the evidence with your assumption. Say inwardly what you would say if you had already received the $50,000, 0 cents. You must become your own encourager, your own reminder, your own proof. The inner world governs the outer. Your speech, especially the invisible speech no one hears but you, has creative power. When your inner voice speaks with authority and faith, your subconscious mind receives it as instruction. And once impressed upon the subconscious, life begins to move in accordance. You will start to notice opportunities appearing, people mentioning things they wouldn't normally say, and money coming through channels you didn't expect. Why? Because your inner dialogue has shifted. You are no longer broadcasting lack, you are radiating fulfillment. You are no longer asking, you are declaring. You can do this while walking, while eating, while lying in bed. Whisper to yourself in the silence of your mind, thank you, the money came, it's already mine, I feel so free, everything worked out in my favor. Let these statements play like a soft melody in the background of your awareness. Not forced, not desperate, just steady and true. Your inner conversation becomes your inner atmosphere, and that atmosphere must express itself outwardly. Life is only ever echoing what you whisper within. So speak from the end, speak from abundance, speak from the place where the $50,000, 0 cents, is already in your hands. Keep doing this, and the world will have no choice but to catch up. Your imagination creates reality. Not tomorrow, not someday, but now. Every scene you play within your mind impresses itself upon your subconscious. And what the subconscious accepts as true, it begins to express without effort. If you desire to manifest $50,000, 0 cents in 21 days, the most powerful tool you possess is not outside of you. It is not your job, not your strategy, not the people you know. It is your imagination. You must construct within your mind a vivid scene, one that implies without question that you already have the money. Do not imagine asking for it. Do not imagine waiting for it. Imagine something that can only be true if the money has already come. Perhaps it's a moment where you're opening your banking app and seeing the balance. $50,000, 0 cents, deposited. Unexpected, undeniable. Let the scene be short, but rich in feeling. Imagine the texture of the phone in your hand, the sunlight falling across your screen, the pulse of excitement rising in your chest. See it, feel it, believe it. Or imagine yourself sitting across from a loved one, smiling, laughing, saying, "It happened. I received the $50,000, 0 cents. I don't even know how, but it's here." Hear their voice responding with joy. Hear their excitement. Let it feel real. Let it move you. This is not daydreaming. This is creation. This is the spiritual act of selecting your future from within. You might imagine paying off a debt that has weighed heavily on you for years. Visualize the moment you submit the final payment. How your shoulders relax, how your breath deepens, how free you feel. Feel the emotional release, the pride, the certainty that abundance is now your reality. Or maybe you celebrate. You imagine yourself buying something you've longed for, not in recklessness, but in confidence. Maybe you book a trip, make a gift, invest in your future. Whatever scene resonates with your heart, create it clearly. But more than anything, enter into the feeling of the scene. The scene is the container. The feeling is the power. Repetition is key. Return to your chosen scene multiple times a day, especially before sleep. As you drift into the subconscious state of drowsiness, your imagination becomes the most fertile. Plant your scene there. Let it loop softly as you surrender to sleep. The mind does not know the difference between what is vividly imagined and what is real. And once the subconscious accepts the scene as true, the outer world must conform. You may not see evidence on day 1 or day 2, but that doesn't matter. The seed has been planted. Keep watering it with faith. Keep revisiting your scene with joy. Do not dig it up with doubt. Do not cancel it with fear. Remain faithful to the imaginal act. Understand this deeply. The world you experience is your imagination outpictured. Every moment spent in belief is a thread weaving your new reality. If you imagine having the $50,000, 0 cents, with sincerity and persistence, the means of its arrival will reveal themselves naturally and effortlessly. The bridge of incidents will unfold in ways you could never have predicted. But you don't need to know how. You only need to know that your imagination, rightly used, is the cause of your reality. Faith is loyalty to the unseen. It is the invisible bridge between the desire and its fulfillment. It does not wait for proof, nor does it beg for signs. Faith is the quiet confidence that what you have imagined already is, even if your senses scream otherwise. If you desire to manifest $50,000, 0 cents in 21 days, this loyalty to the unseen must become your constant posture, not just in moments of meditation, but in the quiet spaces between tasks, in the stillness of night, and especially when nothing seems to be happening. When you say, "I believe," you are not making a hopeful statement. You are declaring something deeper. You are proclaiming that the unseen is more real to you than the visible, that your inner world carries greater authority than anything your eyes, ears, or bank account may suggest. Belief is not passive. It is an active decision to remain loyal to the reality you have accepted inwardly. There will be moments when facts will try to confront you. You may check your account and see lack. You may receive a bill that challenges your inner certainty. You may hear a voice inside you whispering, "See, it's not working." But that is the moment where faith becomes your sword. Not by fighting the facts, but by refusing to worship them. You turn inward again and say to yourself, "I already have it. It is done." You are not lying. You are choosing. You are standing in the truth of your unseen reality. Faith is not about pretending. It is not about denying the outer world. It is about giving greater weight to the inner world. When you live in faith, you are not waiting for the $50,000, 0 cents, to show up in your mailbox before you feel secure. You are already secure. You have already seen the scene in your imagination. You have already felt the freedom, the peace, the relief. That feeling is your evidence. That conviction is your proof. Life reflects the state of your being, and the state of your being is shaped by what you believe to be true, regardless of appearances. If you maintain inner loyalty to the reality where the $50,000, 0 cents, has already been received, then life will without fail echo that inner truth. People, circumstances, and events will align themselves in the most natural way to deliver that outcome, but none of that begins until you believe without needing to see. So let go of the urge to check. Let go of the compulsion to doubt. You are not measuring progress with your eyes. You are measuring it with your conviction. The moment you planted the seed in imagination, it was done. Faith waters that seed. Doubt tries to uproot it. You must choose, again and again, to stay loyal to what cannot yet be touched. You are not manifesting $50,000, 0 cents. You are remembering that it is already yours. Faith does not plead, it knows. It does not rush, it rests. And when you rest in the unseen, when you carry that inner assurance without wavering, the unseen must become seen. The $50,000, 0 cents will come, not by force, but by faith. What you accept as true becomes true. Your subconscious mind does not argue, analyze, or reject. It accepts whatever idea you impress upon it through belief, repetition, and emotion. It takes your dominant thoughts, your inner assumptions, and turns them into outward expressions. If you desire to receive $50,000, 0 cents, in 21 days, then your first and most important task is to accept it as already yours. Not someday, not when everything aligns, but right now, in consciousness. You do not need to figure out how the money will come. That is not your concern. Your only responsibility is to accept the idea of already having it so completely, so firmly, that it becomes your inner reality. Once it is accepted by your subconscious, the physical world must conform. This is not theory, it is law. What you believe to be true becomes your experience, not because of external effort, but because life can only reflect your inner conviction. Ask yourself right now, do I truly accept that this money is mine? Or am I still doubting, still wondering, still hoping? There is a vast difference between wishing and accepting. Wishing keeps you outside the experience. Accepting places you within it. When you accept something as true, you live from that place. You think from it. You feel from it. You walk through the world as if it were done. And in doing so, you collapse the time between the unseen. This is why inner conversations, mental imagery, and emotional alignment are so powerful. They are not just exercises, they are methods of acceptance. When you imagine checking your account and seeing $50,000, 0 cents available, and you feel the satisfaction of it, you are not just visualizing, you are persuading the subconscious mind. You are telling it, this is who I am. This is what is real for me, and the subconscious, without fail, begins to orchestrate everything necessary to reflect that truth. But if you continue to entertain thoughts like, I hope this works, or maybe it will happen, or what if it doesn't come, then you are sowing seeds of doubt. And doubt delays. Doubt pushes your desire further away, not because it has power, but because you are not yet in full acceptance. Acceptance is quiet. It is sure. It doesn't require loud affirmations or constant checking. It simply rests in the knowing, it is already mine. Just as you do not question whether the sun will rise, you must come to a place where you no longer question whether the $50,000, 0 cents, is yours. It is done. You felt it, you saw it, you believed it. That is enough. Let your inner world reflect this truth. Walk, talk, think, and feel from the place of already having. Stop telling stories of lack. Stop rehearsing what hasn't happened. Begin to move through your days as if you've already received what you asked for. Let your acceptance become your atmosphere. Let it permeate your thoughts and actions. The outer world will yield. Circumstances will shift. People will come into your life. Doors will open. But they are not the cause, they are the effect. The cause was always within. Accept that the $50,000 0 cents is yours, and the world must show you what you have already believed. The truth is simple yet profound. You are not trying to get $50,000 0 cents. You are awakening to the fact that it is already yours. Everything you desire begins and ends in consciousness. When you assume the feeling of wealth, dwell in the end, speak inwardly as though it's done, imagine vividly, remain loyal to the unseen and accept the truth of your desire, the world must bend to reflect your inner state. This is not fantasy, this is spiritual law. Your reality is shaped not by effort, but by assumption, not by force, but by faith. So hold firm. Do not waver when appearances tempt you to doubt. Remain still, knowing that the unseen is more real than the seen. The $50,000 0 cents is not coming. It has already arrived in the invisible, and now it is making its way into form. Rest in that truth. Live from it. Celebrate it in advance. Thank you for allowing these words to remind you of your power. Stay faithful to the unseen, and it must become the seen.